Welcome to Wisdom Inspired, a podcast designed to help high achievers to eliminate burnout and overwhelm. Now let's prepare to open our hearts, our minds, and our notebooks to receive today's wisdom. So we've been on a journey. We've been on a journey of lessons of the tent maker, lessons while in pursuit, lessons in the losses, lessons in the fire. And we're going to conclude our theme of the lessons with lessons in the pit. Lessons in the pit. So in today's topic, we're going to take just a brief, trust me, overview of Joseph's story, which is found in Genesis 37 through 50, all of those chapters. So there's not even going to be time to cover all of it. So I suggest that I definitely recommend that you go and, take a look at this story and see how it can encourage you. And so I'm going to just give a brief backdrop of Joseph, and then we'll get into some of the lessons that's found in his story. And so Joseph was the 11th son of Jacob, and his first son through his favored wife, Rachel. Joseph was one of Jacob's 12 sons. His father loved him more than any of the others. So Jacob was his favorite son, right? And Genesis 37:3 says that Jacob loved Joseph more than any of his other sons because he had been born to him in his old age. Joseph's brothers knew this, and it caused them to hate him. They really despised Joseph. In fact, in Genesis 37:4, it says, when his brothers saw that their father loved him more than any of them, they hated him and could not speak a kind word to him. And so the plot thickens as the animosity toward Joseph grew, and it grew to the point that his brothers made this plan to kill him in the wilderness. Now Reuben, which was the oldest one, says, let's not kill him. Let's just throw him in a pit. Let's just throw him in a cistern, right? I'll come back and get him. But before Reuben returned, the brothers had already sold Joseph into slavery to some merchants that had passed by. And so in the meantime, the brothers took Joseph's robe and dipped it in goat's blood, lied to their father Jacob, telling him that Joseph was killed by wild beasts. The merchants then sold. So we knew that wasn't the truth, right? So I've already shared that they lied to Jacob, their father. So then the merchants then sold Joseph to Potiphar, where he eventually became supervisor of Potiphar's household. Joseph excelled at his duties and became one of Potiphar's most trusted servants and was put in charge of his household. But after being falsely accused of rape by Potiphar's wife, who was angry because Joseph was not subjecting himself to her constant advances to him in seduction. And so she accused him of rape, and so he was put in prison by Potiphar. Now, trust me, when I tell you there is so much in this story, there is not enough time to cover it all. So I would encourage you to go and read this for yourself because it is really, really juicy. And I know Coach Dorothy is on this call, and she's like, I can see her face. She's like, you have no idea, because this is one of her favorite stories. But anyway, in preparation and research, I did walk away with a few takeaways that I want to share with you. People are observing your spiritual walk. People are observing your spiritual walk. Joseph's spiritual walk was on display, and God showed him favor and prospered him. While Joseph served in Potiphar's house, according to Genesis 39:3-5, it says, when Potiphar saw that the Lord was with Joseph and that the Lord gave him success in everything he did, Joseph found favor in his eyes and became his attendant. Potiphar put him in charge of the household, and he entrusted to his care everything he owned. From the time he put him in charge of his household and of all that he owned, the Lord blessed the household, the entire household of the Egyptians, because of Joseph. The blessing of the Lord was on everything Potiphar had, both in the house and in the field. Then, during Joseph's time in prison, remember I said Potiphar sent him to prison. In Genesis 39:21 through 23, it says, the Lord was with Joseph. He showed him kindness and granted him favor in the eyes of the prison warden. So Joseph was put in charge, again, of all of the prisoners, and he was made responsible for all that was done there. The Lord was with Joseph and gave him success in whatever he did. Did I mention Pharaoh? So Pharaoh, believed that Joseph had spiritual power that would benefit his country. So Pharaoh gave Joseph a position of power in Egypt because Joseph correctly interpreted Pharaoh's dream. God gave Joseph the ability to interpret the king's dream and the wisdom to recommend a course of action. And so Pharaoh said to Joseph, he says, hey, since God has made all this known to you, there is no one so discerning and wise as you. You shall be in charge of my palace, and all my people are to submit to your orders. Only with respect to the throne will I be greater than you. So everybody have to submit to your orders. And so Pharaoh promptly promoted Joseph to be second in command. And in all three cases, with Potiphar, with the warden in the prison, with Pharaoh, the Lord was with Joseph and caused him to prosper. God took an unlikely person from the lowest position to the highest level of influence. So what can we learn from that? While in leadership roles, all of you are in leadership roles on this call, you will often be placed in situations where you will be tempted and your spiritual walk will be on display, whether it's power and authority or financial oversight, whatever it is, they can all become sources of temptation. Joseph faced intense temptation while being pursued aggressively by Potiphar's wife. Not only does this provide us with an example of how to handle sexual temptation, it also demonstrates Joseph's commitment to honor and integrity as he stood firm in his decision. On this call today, leaders, you all on this call today, you decide that integrity and honor is something that will not be compromised, and make that commitment even before you're facing the temptations, because you will be. And in this story, Joseph was treated unfairly and was sent to prison due to no fault of his own. Yet, while in prison, God provided leadership opportunities. And we can learn from Joseph how to make the best of difficult circumstances, that leadership opportunities are available, leadership opportunities are available in unlikely places. And God values servant leadership in all circumstances. And so that's my encouragement to you today. It doesn't matter what circumstance or what situation we find ourselves in, even when they're unjust. We can learn from the account of Joseph's life that by remaining faithful and accepting that God is ultimately in charge, we can be confident that God will reward our faithfulness in the fullness of time. So I hope today today's wisdom has encouraged you. That is always our prayer. Always be mindful that commitment to honor what God says, a commitment to be to lead with integrity and honesty will always go further than anything else you can ever do. So, again, I hope today's wisdom has encouraged you. Remember to go to wisdominspired.net to find the links to other platforms where you can listen to the previous episodes. Go out there and binge on some of those episodes. And as Coach Dorothy said, we have, I believe we're at 297 episodes now. So there's a lot to binge on, right? But anyway, go and listen to the previous episodes, subscribe, and leave us a review. And lastly, if you'd like to know more about our co-working and collaborating community and how you can benefit from the resources and transformational coaching, send us an email to hello@aaccoworking.com. With that said, meet us back on the line next time, same place, same station, with more Wisdom Inspired. Have a wildly productive day. I hope you enjoyed the episode of Wisdom Inspired that was brought to you by the AAC Co-working Community, a virtual community designed to support female entrepreneurs, business owners, and freelance professionals. For more, go to wisdominspired.net.